everybody, I'm Erica and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So today I've got a little bit of a different video. It's still a hair video for you guys, but I am going to be coloring my hair today. Now I am using semi-permanent color and I have not used bleach or peroxide based dye in over a year. Developed an allergy and I'm just trying to avoid it. So my hair has grown out and only the very end, you see where there's that kind of purple tint? That's some of the old bleach. And then there's a lot of gray. This is pretty much my natural hair color, with the gray being tinted a little purple. This is my natural color under here. And when you're looking on the internet for examples of how direct dye, semi-permanent dye, deposit-only dyes look on hair that is unbleached hair, it's really hard to find. So I thought when I try a new one out, I would share my experience with you guys so that maybe you could get an idea if that direct dye would work on your hair. The rules for direct dyeing hair that is unbleached are pretty simple. Get your hair as clean as possible. My hair has been washed twice with a very clarifying shampoo. Get your hair completely dry so it soaks in. Don't be afraid to apply heat to the dye to help it set by using a blow dryer or going under like a bonnet dryer. And always pick a color that is high pigment and at least as the same depth of your natural hair color or darker. So the last time I did this, I did it with a purple, and this time I'm going to be using Punky Ebony. So this is Punky's black hair dye. I got this on Amazon. Unfortunately, came in bursted, so there's a little bit of dye on the outside of the container. But one of the things people always ask about black hair dye that is semi-permanent is, what shade of black is it? Does it have green undertones? Does it have blue? Does it fade funky and turn brown? So I thought I would show you guys how it works on me, and I also would show you what color it is. So this is Punky Ebony. It looks pretty darn black. I'm gonna swatch some of it on a paper towel so we can try to see if there's any undertones in there. It looks like a pretty pure black. I can see a little bit of blue. It's hard to see in this light. There's a little bit of blue, and it also looks like it goes a little bit of brown. So I have read a lot of reviews on Ebony, and no one has really said it's an overly blue-based dye. So I think this is just gonna be more like a straight black. Also, on a side note, I'm growing out my bangs, and look at all that progress, and look how long my hair is. This is what my hair looks like when it's not curled, if anybody ever wondered. So I'm gonna go put the dye on, and then when I come back, I can show you guys the results. So the plan is, put it on my dry hair, leave it for about 40 minutes to an hour, and then wash it out, style it, and show you guys what we got. So as a reminder, all this is my natural brown color. This is all my gray. So it's about 20% gray through the top. So let's see what happens. Hi everyone, I am back, and I have got a lot of thoughts about Punky Ebony hair dye. So let's start with the good. As you can see, all the brown is covered. I just let it air dry and then did a quick Velcro roller set to get some body in it. It is very black. You can still see a little bit of my gray, but I would say 80% of my gray is covered, which for a semi-permanent hair dye is pretty great. Let's talk about the application and the experience in general. So it's pretty easy to apply. It is not a runny hair dye, it's quite thick. So while I did intend to put it on dry hair, I ended up spritzing my hair a little bit with water just to make it easier to spread around. I used about a little less than a third of the pot to dye my hair, and you guys saw how long my hair is and that I don't have very much. So this could be something where you'd have to get multiple jars of the dye if you had long hair. And it's pretty cost effective. It's only about I got mine for like $8 on Amazon. So it's not very expensive. You can also get it at Ulta. The dye has a weird, like, fake fruit candy smell. So if you're not into that, it doesn't give me a headache or make me sick like some dye smells do, but I can't say I enjoy it. If you don't mind the fake grape nastiness that is Arctic Fox's smell, you won't mind Punky, because it's the same sort. It's not grape, but it's like Runts candy smell. I know some of you are probably out there being like, yeah, I love Runts candy, and some of you are like, oh god, that sounds horrible. It's not that strong of a smell though, so you can kind of work around it. I'm a big fan of Punky. Let me say that before I complain about this dye, because I do love their dye. I enjoy several of their colors are my favorite colors to use now that Special Effects is gone. This dye was messy. It's a black hair dye. All black hair dyes are messy, but this one was exceptionally so. If you live in an apartment, maybe don't use this dye because it will stain your tub. It stained my tub terribly. It really made a mess washing it out. My hands aren't too bad now, but my nails are definitely stained black, which I mean does happen when you use a semi-permanent color. But I don't know if you guys can see this. There is, it almost looks like a bruise. And that is from the black dye getting on my neck and not being able to get it off. So this dye, I would say Punky Ebony is a purple-based black. And where I got that information from is when I was rinsing off my gloves, the water was dark purple. When I rinsed out the dye, it starts a dark, blackened, cool purple. The longer the rinse, the more plum tones come out. So it's very strange. It starts out a blackened purple in the rinse water and ends up like almost like a bright plum. It gets a real reddish black purple tinge to it. Now that does make for a pretty natural black. It's definitely not a blue black. It's more like a natural color. Not that this is natural for me or most people. But it is kind of, it's not the harshest, strongest black, which I do think is nice. I think you could mix this with one of Punky's blues and get a beautiful blue black. I'm probably gonna mix it with a purple to get a more purple tone. As you can see in certain light, it's got a little bit of a purple hue, and I think that's just because I had purple left over in my hair, my gray hair before. But as you can see, all those lighter bits that were like a grayish color have all been blended in. So it did do an excellent job. I will do a check-in in 4 weeks at the end of March and show you guys how this has faded, how it has lasted. My hair feels really good. My hair enjoys Punky dyes. They like the conditioning aspect of it. I left it on for about 40 minutes, which for me is usually about enough time. You can leave it on as long as you want. Can't damage your hair. It's just a deposit only, demi-permanent. It's basically vegetable dye. There's no peroxide or anything in it. But 40 minutes usually does the job, and I think that was the case this time as well. So there we go. Mixed feelings on the Punky Ebony. It's a weird dye. I mean, the fact that it rinses out and changes color as it's rinsing. I was like really scared it was gonna look red, like reddish black, but it doesn't. I think that those red tones are in there to try to keep it balanced so it doesn't go to like a navy blue or a straight purple, but still it's a bit unusual. But all in all, I like my result, and I don't know guys, I'm kind of liking the black hair. I guess if I can't have super bright hair, I want super dark hair. So I feel quite Liz Taylor lately with the hair. So maybe I will try to do a Liz inspired pin curl set for you guys soon. I've done one before, but maybe I'll try it again. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you next video.